Hello, Mr. Adams. My name is Anthony Vendetti, and I am with Madhushani Ranatunga and Patrick Reve. We have a proposal for your EB5 Regional Center program that includes an entirely comprehensive plan which we have put together for you today. As you know, the EB5 Regional Center program is an employment-based immigrant investor program that is government approved. The main requirements are that a minimum investment must be made of $1 million or $500,000 if located in a targeted employment area, otherwise known as a TEA. Now, the job creation requirement mandates that 10 direct or indirect full-time jobs are created. An indirect job is a job created collaterally as a result of a regional center's dispersal of investments to affiliated new commercial enterprises. In addition, government-approved regional center investors will not have to conduct independent investigation and analysis to prove in the visa petition that a new enterprise has been established, the job creation requirement has been met, or that the investor will engage in management of the enterprise. Now, Mr. Adams, there are several important appeals of an EB5 regional center. First, the investors do not need to build their own enterprise. Second, there's less burden on investors because of simpler documentation. And third, investors are not as tethered to the location of the commercial enterprise as direct investors. Now, when looking at such EB5 regional centers, there is some due diligence needed for potential investors. There is a need for investors to look at the qualifications of regional centers and their affiliated enterprises. They must also look at information about government approval. Third, investment experience is something that they need to look into, as well as success in job creation, financial outlook, and visa petition approval rate. Now, what we've done for you, Mr. Adams, is put together a SWOT analysis, specifically an internal SWOT analysis of our proposal, with strengths including your status as a world financier. As your status as a world financier, you can leverage your investment experience to evaluate new enterprise opportunities. Also, with your proven record in global business contacts, your personal reputation can be used to draw in important clients. Furthermore, your reputation will serve as a barrier to imitation. For weaknesses, investments in targeted employment rates may not provide substantial returns and may have a higher risk. Additionally, you will need to comply with the regulatory requirements. Now, Mr. Adams, when looking at opportunities, you have well-established global business connections, which can enhance the regional center. The EB5 Regional Center can act as a complementary service to your investment advisory services. Additionally, the quota for an H-1B visa is usually attained, and Canada recently closed down a similar program. This will increase demand in our regional center. When looking at threats, there are hundreds of regional centers already in existence, and also no substantial barriers to entry. However, this puts us in a Red Sea environment. However, this Red Sea environment is more stable than a Blue Sea environment. Now, Mr. Adams, our proposal is to form an EB5 Regional Center as a complementary service to your financial services, with strategic positioning as needs-based positioning. Since the motive of investing in an EB5 Regional Center is not fully profit-driven, you could attain a third-order fit and synergy by bundling with investment advisory services. Our proposal, therefore, when taking in consideration the TEA, we propose the island of Hawaii. This allows for a minimum investment of $500,000. We will attract immigrant investors and use current global business contracts and bring stakeholders together to create a coalition. When looking at the map of Hawaii, you can see the blue region in the southern part of the island. This blue highlighted region is called Oahu Island of Hawaii. This island is already a TEA region, which would make it possible to start up a hotel with only $500,000 investment. Since return is a secondary consideration for most EB5 investors, the initial projects should be low-risk projects. Tourism is the largest source of private capital in Hawaii, with $11.4 billion in visitor spending. Initial investment projects should cater to the tourism industry. An initial project recommendation would be a pool investment to develop an oceanfront hotel. Why Hawaii?
Honolulu is located on the Polynesian island of Oahu, in the middle of the North Pacific Ocean. It is the capital of Hawaii, the 50th and youngest American state. In tropical Honolulu, the surf is always up and the weather is always warm. Hawaii's biggest city offers the perfect mix of nature, culture, sports, and shopping all in one place. With America's only royal palace at its core and Pearl Harbor just around the corner, there is a lot of history to discover. Visit the Bishop Museum to learn about the Polynesian voyagers who came here hundreds of years before Captain Cook dropped anchor in 1778. The native Hawaiians and first Europeans were drawn to the majestic profile of the Diamond Head volcano, which is still an attraction today. Whenever you're in the city, the backdrop of Leahi, as the locals call the crater, is a constant reminder of Hawaii's explosive beginnings. Climb the short trail to its circular rim for commanding views over the island and its picture-perfect coastline. Go to the top of the Aloha Tower to see how Honolulu has become a modern urban center. The capital is the gathering place where residents of Hawaii do business, but tourists mainly come here for its beaches and water sports. Honolulu means sheltered bay, and any day of the year you can go swimming, stand-up paddleboarding, and sailing in the harbor. Ala Moana Beach Park is the quieter alternative to popular Waikiki. Laze on the beach, or if you start feeling active, get surfing lessons or rent a canoe to explore the bay. Stroll over the boulevard to buy everything from upscale fashion to flowery local garments to brighten up your wardrobe. Downtown, you can't miss the statue of the fearless warrior King Kamehameha, who unified the Hawaiian Islands in the late 18th century. Admire the American Florentine architecture of Iolani Palace and visit the Halekoa Barracks. For lunch, try a Japanese fusion dish. The largely Asian American population of Honolulu has left its mark on the cuisine and culture of the island. Visit Kapi'olani Park with its ancient banyan trees and attractive beachfront. The park is home to the historic Honolulu Zoo, so take the kids to see friendly giants and exotic birds. Set aside a day for Pearl Harbor to see the remnants of the U.S. Pacific Fleet that was crippled by an air raid on December 7, 1941. Pay your respects on the USS Arizona Memorial, visit the Aviation Museum, and see the spot that marks the surrender of Japan aboard the USS Missouri. To the east of Pearl Harbor, the warm turquoise waters of Kailua Beach are waiting to take your mind off worldly affairs. Cool off with shave ice, the local version of a snow cone. Head back to downtown Honolulu for sunset and watch a hula dancing show in the romantic capital of Hawaii. Honolulu is a convenient stopover on your way to other Hawaiian islands, but also a great destination in itself. Come and experience the true meaning of aloha, which is more than just Hawaiian for hello. It means a warm welcome, love, best wishes, and even goodbye, but it never means farewell.
Resort. There is historical success within this industry, and this is proven, and we will go into more depth in the next two slides. Also, there's no negative seasonal effect here. Also, importantly, it is a continuously growing market. Past hotel resort success includes Jay Peak, which is a huge EB5 success in Vermont. A ski resort turned into a remote spot into a year-round destination with impressive lodging, golf course, and indoor water park. Early investors have already received their green cards. Another hotel resort success is NYLO Dallas. Some $5.5 million from 11 investors turned a former coffin factory south of downtown Dallas, where traditional capital feared to tread, into a chic boutique hotel. Option, this would be a middle-of-the-road or an options move. This is because it will maximize payoff by losing little as possible. This is because a hotel in Hawaii will be relatively stable and receive steady profit without any significant losses. It can rest in 5 different quadrants: profit, quality, quantity, social issues, and employment. For profit, even though there are hundreds of competitors due to the year-round demand, there is always room to make profits in hotel resort in a targeted TEA such as in Hawaii, because the demand is ever growing. For quality and quantity, the majority of the customers who come to visit Hawaii come for a relaxing vacation. It will be upon the company to provide them with a high-quality atmosphere, and it would be more profitable to do this at a large scale. For social issues, since this is not a region with vast social controversial issues, there would be less friction for the company to deal with. For employment, providing employment to the locals certainly would be an advantage from a variety of angles. For instance, the salaries would be relatively lower, and this would add more local culture within the hotel, and importantly would make it more respected among the locals. Important part of our success. It is reasonable to be intimidated to start up a hotel and state that is famous for tourism. However, if our management team works hard and works together, this will create synergy within our organization, which will lead to a better fit and lead to our success. The management team recommends no straddling. If this is something that's a serious interest, then you, Mr. Adams, should take the risk and jump into the hotel resort business without straddling. You should decide not to attempt to become a variety of types in the business. For instance, you should decide if you want to provide a high-end, intimate service or a high-end but somewhat vague interaction, because attempting to do both of these would be the key to failure. This is a true ambiguity environment. This is because the program could be terminated at any time, and also because the TEA could be removed from Hawaii. Therefore, we suggest to set up the regional center as quick as possible. And the first step to do this will be to create a team that implements the plan to address all regulatory concerns. Thank you for your time, and we hope that you invest in our EB5 Regional Center.